I am here today to set the record straight. Without protection, I stand alone. No scales, no sword, no blindfold. I speak on behalf of the people who have suffered from the reign of white supremacy. There is a change on the rise in this country, and we can either stand together in justice or fall apart. I am here to stand in and revisit key points in a hearing between Christine Blasey Ford and Brett Kavanaugh that I believe were unjustified and overlooked. First, Ford will not be discredited by your accusations of her statements being, quote, calculated political hits fueled by Donald Trump. Second, Ford was receiving no amount of money from either political party for her statements. She spoke her truth for her country as her civic duty and for herself. Third, I understand the consequences for speaking out for her as a woman. I understand that I will be shamed, humiliated, laughed at, called a hysterical woman, an attention seeker. I realize that I will be publicly binded to these accusations, and still, I will speak my truth. I will not be silenced. Now, Ford will not accept alibis from your so-called witnesses who only give in to the lie of white supremacy that you uphold. People such as coaches or anyone else that you have had, quote, beers with. We all know that these are not viable sources, they are not true witnesses, and they have no heart. I will not be silenced. Finally, it pains me to say this, but it needs to be said. Ford states that the most horrifying part of the experience, the most horrifying memory she can recall, is when Brett Kavanaugh physically put his hands over her mouth to stop her from yelling. Even when you put your hands over our mouths, whether metaphorically or physically, to stop us from speaking out about our truths, I will not be silenced. Most importantly, the notes from Ford's therapy sessions were documented long before the nomination and corroborate with what Ford had said in the hearing. She also passed a polygraph test and submitted the results to a committee. Judge Kavanaugh had not. She also asked for outside and expert witnesses to testify. Judge Kavanaugh had not. She also asked for an FBI investigation into the facts. Judge Kavanaugh, when asked to be investigated by the FBI, completely refuses to answer the question, beats around the bush, loses composure, raising his voice, blaming and acting out towards other female senators such as Amy Klobuchar for asking pointed questions. This was all in an attempt to distract the general public from the real problem and question at large. But justice is not blind. I see you, and I will not be silenced. Lastly, when Republican Senator Mr. Graham unprofessionally jumps to Kavanaugh's defense, bullying and manipulating Ford, suggesting that she should have gone straight to the perpetrator for an investigation instead of contacting the FBI, while an entire trained professional courtroom watches and doesn't say a word. This internalized misogyny and injustice must be stopped. At every expense possible, I will speak the truth. I will speak my truth for my country with poise and honor, and I will not be silenced. will speak out on behalf of myself, Lura Wilson, who has withstood the pain of this abuse herself, myself. This pain affects my current relationships with all people, but especially men, and has completely paralyzed my ability to love, connect, and enjoy others openly and freely. I hope as I sit here, displayed like an object, a piece in the menagerie of their glass house with their glass ceiling, like an object for everyone to see what happens to hysterical women when they speak out. How important it is for us to be allies to each other, to stand up for each other, for what we know is right. I hope that you can see now how important it is to speak our truths and stand up, now more than ever. They will continue to lie. They will continue to deny allegations, throw their weight around, implement more guns, implement more laws, build more walls, all for power, money, and greed. But we must speak out against them. They're taking our world, our feminine divine. But together, we are stronger. Together, we can speak out against them. Together, we can unmask their misogyny. Together, we will not be silenced. Love will not be silenced.